Knock again.
Still nothing.
Knock again.
Still nothing.
Knock.
Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
nothing.
Exhausting trial.
You can say that again, brother.
It's been
Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial.
You can say that again, brother.
It's been
Well,
like
this has
6
been a long
hours.
and exhausting trial.
You can say that again, brother.
It's been like 6
Well,
hours.
this has been a long and exhausting trial.
You can say that again, brother.
It's been 6
Well,
hours.
this has been a long and exhausting trial.
You can say that again, brother.
It's been 6
Well,
hours.
This has been a long and exhausting trial.
All the balls, DB. There's too many balls. What am I supposed to do with all these balls? Look, even more balls. This Asian loves to play with balls. Someone should do an intervention for them. They got a ball problem. She inhales sharply and lifts her index finger into the air.
Nummy nummy pancake for your tummy.
Cute. Cute.
Gosh, that was just as embarrassing for me as it was for you.
Oh, God.
Picture you committing to the bit.
They had a lot of strange recipes. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
VTuber sneezes?
Sneezes, you got one.
You got your sneeze, VTuber sneezes. You got it.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
just said that it made Brittany more powerful in the future, and I'm just like, who's Brittany?
It's Brittany, bitch. Thank you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would make sense. Wait, excuse me? What? Hello? Oh my god, no. Hello? I don't think this is working as intended. We are the crystal gems? Huh. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Oh, hello? Oh, hi. We are the crystal gems. We always save the day. Oh. Kitty! Kitty!
Wow.
No. No, he's been given him.
Whole rest of the stream.
He has a line. Which person is reading for this character?
It's me.
Okay.
That was me. Too late. I already did it.
Okay. As we wake up in the morning and give each other a little morning peck on the cheek.
It's true, I'm very, very gay. Details about the crimes have been pegged as the reapers.
Just stumbled over it so bad. It's so funny.
So here we are. Here. We made it. I am Girlina Pumpkin, your angel honey slime who aims to be top idol one day. And we we are going to be doing a subathon goal today, which is reading terrible yaoi fanfiction. And I have it all sorted out by the newest first, so we get that cream of la creme of yaoi fanfictions. Oh dear. I don't know how long it'll go, but we're here, we're doing it. We're gonna be reading some questionable quality fanfictions of the yaoi variety. But it's good to see you, Soot, and it's good to see everyone else. So I guess we should be finding something then, huh? As you can see, we already got something. It's pretty cursed. We got some Rayman with a emoji. Ooh, what's this? Behind those crimson eyes, an accident with Eggman causes Shadow to become temporarily blind and somewhat autistic. Oh, there's only one available person to take care of him, and that's his one and only rival, Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my. In fact, let's actually open this in a new tab. Prologue. How it started. We're going off strong, aren't we? We got that Shadow Sonic fanfictions. Let's go. Plot twist. I will scream if it actually ends up being good. I will legitimately put like a poster behind my character of a Shadow Sonic fan art if it ends up being good. It all started with an experiment in a minor battle with Eggman. That's all Shadow remembered. There was Sonic. Ooh, you know what I should be doing? You know what? I need music. Oh, heck yeah. We got that Christmas music. Let me know if it's too loud or anything. That's all Shadow remembered. There was Sonic. A muffled yell came from his mouth, a look of fear in his eyes, desperately warning the confused but ticked off Ebony Hedgehog. Shadow turned around. A mech had caught him off guard and sprayed one of Eggman's experiments, a pinkish substance in his eyes. You see Kite. It's also good to see you. all the honey cakes, all of it. But it's good to see you. I hope today's been treating you well. We just started off our terrible fanfiction reading, and we're starting off strong with a Sonic and Shadow fanfiction. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. A pinkish substance in his eyes. He remembered the sound of screams. Was it him? He rubbed his eyes, stumbled back and continued to cry out. He hit his shoulder against the wall next to him, trying to subdue the pain. It felt like acid had been poured in his eyes, but no matter how painful it was, he didn't cry. Blood ran down from his eyelids, down his cheeks, from the scab that came from the harsh rubbing, and the burn marks under his eyes was bluish purple. Yeah, we're reading those weird yaoi fanfic ships. And there's a lot worse ones we could be reading too. Like, for example, if you go up, there's a Rayman with emoji. Anyway. He felt himself collapse from the pain. The Azure Hedgehog rushed to his side and caught his? Also to see the sight up close, the blood oozing down the Onyx Hedgehog's face, as well as the blue-purple color of its scab makes the blue blur resist the urge to gag. Shadow, oh my gosh, are you good, Shads? Sonic held a weak ebony hedgehog in his arms. Shadow, his eyes still closed in tremendous pain, acted as if he had only skinned his knee, dismissed the question. Where's the doctor? The Azure one quickly said, he ran off. Shadow snarled. Goddamn coward. He winced from the throbbing pain in his face. The Azure hedgehog helped up the Onyx one. Do you have a Chaos Emerald on you? Or did you come unprepared? The blue blur tried to lighten the mood. If he wasn't in so much pain, Shadow would have grumbled back a snarky remark. The ebony biohog stumbled a bit and slurred. I think so. So... Shadow remembered Azure Hedgehog carrying him. Somewhere. The warm feeling in his chest, remembering in the blue one's arms. Next thing he knew, he was unconscious. Oh dear. Oh, hi Weedy! Thank you for the lurkies. I hope the day's been treating you well. Take your time and enjoy the yaoi chaos from the shadows. Oh my, from the shadows? What a coinky-dink. Chapter 1, Black, Red, and Pink. One praise? Why, of course, for the Weedy. I always appreciate how you're always cheering all of us little creatures on with appreciation and loves. And I just want you to know that we love and appreciate you too. You are super cute, super adorable, and you're just so soft and cuddly, and we just love snuggling with the snuggly cutie here. We love the Weedy, and we appreciate you and are thankful for your presence. Yeah, you are breathtaking. I don't know if you hear it, but even my dogs agree. My dogs also agree that Weedy is a cutie. Shadow awoke to the sound of steady beeping, and the air was cold. He heard the muffled sounds of a few people walking by the room he was in. He reached towards his face, the gauze that appeared to be wrapped around his eyes. As soon as he remembered what happened with Eggman, a sharp pain in his eye hit him like a truck. He groaned loudly, a few cuss words slipping out. He then heard shuffling. Oh, Shadow, you're awake! An all too familiar voice said. Shadow felt a warm presence at his side and one on his arm. Shadow froze, then recognized the voice. Sonic! Who else could it be? The person who saved your ultimate ass! Sonic chuckled. Shadow scoffed. Of course. As if I could have literally anyone else in this goddamn world. He tried to sit up, but a throbbing headache hit him. He winced, massaging the temple of his head. Hey there! Easy there, Tiger. Just relax. Sonic patted the ebony one's shoulder. As if I need you telling me what to do, Shadow snarled. Mr. Free as the wind. Touché, mister, Sonic said. I only called Rouge, so she should be in a few. I know how you don't enjoy crowds, being antisocial and all. The Azure Hedgehog joked. He still had his hand on the Onyx Hedgehog's arm, his thumb gently rubbing it. Shadow felt himself stop breathing and slightly moved his arm from the reach. Shadow mumbled a small thanks, though the blue hedgehog was the last person he wanted to see. He still appreciated the fact that he took the time to think about how Shadow felt. I don't need your pity, Shadow scoffed. He then felt his face twitch into a small grin. Tell that to your face! The Ebony Hedgehog could hear the smile in Sonic's voice. Shadow looked down, hoping that Azure One would notice the light blush on his tan muzzle. You're an ass. He furrowed his forehead, causing him to wince in pain once more. I hope speed healing will come in handy, he muttered to no one in particular. Sonic resisted the urge to wince. Yeah, about that. Shadow's ears twitched at the sound of the door opening, and a female voice filled the room. Oh, looks like I'm joining late. The Ebony Hedgehog bodies relaxed at the sound of a familiar voice. Rouge, it's nice to. Unfortunately, I can't stay, as my schedule is very busy. I just wanted to check up on you, Shadow. The ivory bat went over and hugged the Ebony One, startling him. Seems you're in good hands with Big Blue. I have to get going now. Bye-bye. Rouge was gone before any of the hedgehogs could respond. Shadow felt his ears droop a bit. It was always like this, ever since Shadow stepped down from his role at Gun a few months back, and Rouge was put in his position. She'd been busier than ever, and never having time for Omega or him. Not like he cared or anything. He knew that position was a busy one. He would know, as he spent a lot of sleepless nights, working on mountains of paperworks and practical investigations. Well, hello to you too, Rouge, Sonic said with a hint of sarcasm. How long has she been like this? Shadow felt a wall raising inside of him, a wall he built that kept his emotions from showing. He said in a monotone voice, a few months. Gun had kept her busy. Had had time for frivolous wants, unlike you. That was a low blow, Shadow thought to himself. Just because he was upset about Rouge didn't mean he had to verbally attack Sonic. Well, he didn't feel sorry. He wasn't made to feel sorry. Sonic ignored the insult and continued. What exactly is going on at Gun? Haven't heard much since the incident. Shadow, his voice low and intimidating, spoke. Can we just talk about something else? Or not at all? He really didn't want to talk about the incident. He wanted to act like it didn't happen. He never have to give a speech to those bastards again. He thought to himself. It's not like Sonic knew exactly what happened. He never wanted anyone to know his secret. Except Rouge. Shadow, Just before the Ebony Hedgehog could say anything, he was startled by another familiar voice. A small young voice. The notes. What is Shadow hiding? And what exactly is an incident? And who the hell just entered the room? Also, I can relate to Shadow. In the past, friends would confront me, and I wasn't one for confrontation, and I'd verbally attack them, which was wrong of me. LOL. But at the end of the day, I've changed and I'm human. I'm not gonna beat myself up over something that happened so long ago. But of course, I seek to do and know better. Enjoy and see you next time. Let's go, next part. Black, red, and pink, part 2. Hey Sonic, hey Shadow. Hey little bro. Sonic immediately switched to his voice to a cheery one. Sorry I kept you waiting so long. I had to finish up some last minute things. So, Shadow, how are you feeling? Like shit. Shadow grumbled. He could feel cold, emerald eyes on him, and Sonic then said, Shadow, there are children in the room. Tails groaned, Shadow telling that the young Kitsune had rolled his eyes. He then heard light footsteps head towards him, and the small kit said softly, It's okay if I take off the gauze? Shadow froze. This meant letting him touch him. Shadow wasn't one for physical touch, unless it was a fight with Eggman, or decking Sonic in the face. Even just a pat on the shoulder made him shift uncomfortably. No, Shadow said, the instincts coming to him. Yes, I mean, whatever, Shadow stuttered. He never stuttered. Shads, you okay? Sonic asked, with a sweet and sincere tone that made Shadow want to blush. Blushes. Yes, Hedgehog, I'm fine, Shadow growled. Just get it over with. Shadow could feel the warm hand near his face, as he felt his quills and the fur on his arm stand. He squeezed his hand into fists and held his breath. Don't freak out. Don't freak out, he chanted to himself, as he felt a warmth leave near his face. He finally sighed, maybe just a little bit too loud. His face wasn't completely numb from the pain, so he felt his eyes flutter open. He heard collective gasps from the two. What? Shadow said, confused. Let me guess. I have something on my face, he said, his face oozing with sarcasm. Sonic felt the heat rising in his face. No, nothing's wrong. It's your eyes, Tails said, fascinated. He walked over and observed the ebony one's eyes. I guess the chemicals in that substance caused the pigmentation in your eyes to fade. Change even. You know, Shads, pink is a nice color on ya. Sonic chuckled lightly. Shadow felt a bit of flush on his face and looked away. Shut up! Tails looked at the bruising under the Biohog's eyes and winced. Those bruises are going to take time to heal. Should be in a matter of a few days. The young kid then held two fingers up and asked the honored one, How many fingers am I holding up? A Shadow sneered. Is this a joke? Tails rolled his eyes. Come on. I'm trying to help check your eyesight. So the least you could do is cooperate. The Ebony Hedgehog then spoke. Then I won't be of much help because I see nothing, Sonic said curiously. So you're saying you can't see me or Tails? Or anything for that matter? Shadow nodded. Tails whipped out his Miles Electric? Is Miles Electric? Miles Electric. What the heck is a Miles Electric? Anyway. Well, your Black Arm's DNA will help heal the pigmentation change in your eyes in a few weeks. But as for the temporary blindness, you could be blind for months. Sonic looked at the Ebony Hedgehog. He looked into his now fuchsia-colored eyes and saw the stoic facade starting to crumble. What are you really hiding behind those eyes? The Azure one thought. Shadow felt like he couldn't breathe. Just keep it together. He needed some air. Pushed the covers off his body and stood. I need some air. Suddenly he felt a wave of dizziness and nausea hit him like a truck. Sonic rushed to the Onyx Hedgehog's side. Hey, take it easy, pal. Shadow growled. I'm fine. He pushed the Azure one, only to run face first right into the wall next to the door. He let a few unpleasant words slip out as he left the room, leaving the two brothers staring at each other. Sonic then broke the silence a few seconds later. Maybe I should... He began to walk out the door, but a hand on his shoulder stopped him. The young Kitsune stood beside his brother and sincerely said, I think it's best if we give him some time to think. It's a lot to take in. Plus, we know better to interrupt Shadow when he's brooding. The blue blur smirked and ruffled his young brother's fur on his head a bit. Yeah, you're right. He then joked, wow, little bro, when did you become so wise? Tails chuckled, playfully punching his brother on the arm. I have my moments. Next chapter, I'll be attempting to dive into Shadow's autism. As a person with ADHD, I hope I captured this somewhat okay. I do know it's not the same thing, but this is an attempt. I should go now before I start ranting, and I think I already have already. Vote, comment, drink water, touch grass, be kind, and make choices. Shabai. Sorry about the puppers. Oh dear. This is becoming spicy. Got some waters. Oh dear, I wonder what's going to happen here. Anything could be happening here, I wonder. Next part. Chapter 3, Azure and Emerald. Shadow opened a door that led to the outside world. The sound of the wind and the birds were very apparent. He looked around, thought all he saw was shadows, no pun intended. He had his hands in front of him, so he would ram into any walls or chairs. His hand met to something long and smooth, like wood. The smell was of oak and whatever chemicals in the paint. The banister? He huffed. This is going to take a while, he thought to himself, using the banister as a guide. The Onyx Hedgehog took a few steps forward. His ears twitched a bit. He heard a faint creaking. He sighed a sigh of relief as he felt the armrest of a chair and sat down. He really let the reality that he was blind sink in. That meant no running. He groaned internally. How would he do everyday things like cooking or cleaning without his eyesight? He really wished Rouge was here, but alas, she was too busy for him. Was it something he did or said? Shadow did have a tendency to act off his anger. He was easily frazzled, but he was good at hiding it. But recent events had shown that it was getting harder and harder to keep it a secret. Shadow knew why he was different. He disliked the loud noises and bright lights. His dislike of large crowds or parties. He needs order and stability in his life. He secretly loved soft and fuzzy things, preferably cats. It had been a few months since he had been diagnosed, and he hadn't told any of his friends. And he didn't plan on telling them. Definitely not Sonic at that. Especially not Sonic. Why, you might ask? Shadow had his reasons. Shadow felt that something else was placed in the chair with him. He got the soft comfort of cotton, the smell of detergent, and the faint whiff of lemon hit him. He recognized the lemon smell. He knew the certain blue idiot who claimed it. He couldn't help but notice that each sudden noise caused his ear to flick in the direction of the noise. He'd had to ask Tails about that later. Wait, no. Don't ask Tails, he thought to himself. You can figure it out on yourself. You're the ultimate life form after all. Not that ultimate life form bullshit again. It's just one question. One question leads to being treated like a prisoner for the rest of your life. Gun did it. Gerald did it. There was one person in his life that didn't. Azure and Emerald. Shadow was startled out of his racing thoughts when the door opened and the smell of sweet lemon and strong oak reassured him that it was Sonic. Hey, Shads, Sonic said nervously. The Azure Hedgehog wasn't exactly why he decided to come out here, but something told him to come out here. Especially here. To come out here. Right here, right now, to come out. Right here. What do you want, Faker? Shadow brought his knees up to his chest and looked in front of him. Sonic sat next to him, examining the ebony hedgehog. He noticed his right ear kept flinching a bit. What's up with your ear? For some reason, that pissed the biohog off. That's it? That's why you came out here? Shadow chuckled. Though the Azure Blue could see he found nothing funny about it. You really are something else. Sonic picked at the chipping paint of the chair wheels and I just... The Onyx Hedgehog grunted. Would you just say it already? The Azure Hedgehog huffed. Geez, I'm not good with this kind of thing. Just give me a minute, someone's cranky. Shadow growled at that. If I could see you right now, I'd shove my foot up your... Okay, anyways. Oh dear. Yeah, me either, Savage, me either, but here we are. We're going out with a bang. Sonic interrupted before he could finish the sentence. What I wanted to say was, I'm sorry. That's it, you're sorry, Shadow said in a deadpan tone. The blue blur stuttered. Yeah, for upsetting you earlier. Sometimes I say things without thinking for that, and I'm sorry. Shadow was surprised, flabbergasted. But most of all, he felt warm. He didn't have the words to say how much it means to him that Sonic was actually saying those words. Most people would brush off the fact that the Ebony Hedgehog actually had feelings, and wouldn't even apologize at all. He gave the shortest answer, but deep inside, he truly meant it from his heart. I forgive you. He heard a sense of confusion in Azure One's voice as it went into a slight, high-pitched state. Say what? Shadow said plainly once more. I forgive you. What more do you want me to say? I don't know, Sonic said, at a loss for words. An explanation would be nice, maybe. Shadow voice went low and soft. Something that happened when he felt insecure. I just have a lot on my mind. I'm working through. Sonic scoffed. That's literally the most vague answer I'd like ever, but I'll let it slide. For now, Sonic thought to himself. Shadow swayed a bit in his chair and hummed a bit as silence filled the air. Sonic watched the ebony biohog. He felt the sounds fade away. There's no way he felt the same, Sonic thought. Ever since the fight with the bio-lizard and Shadow almost dying in space. The Azure Hedgehog always had an eye for Shadow. That was also when he realized he was gay. Let's try that one more time. The Azure Hedgehog always had an eye for Shadow. That was also when he realized he was gay. Why else did Sally and him break up? It was all for show. Why else did he never give Amy the time of day? He loved her like a sister, but he didn't have the courage to break her heart. He hadn't told anyone, of course. But there were many times when he'd come so close to telling tales, but he was afraid. Shadow looked at the general direction of the blue blur and said, "You know, I can feel staring at me. I can feel staring at me." Sonic blushed a light pink across his peach muzzle. "Oh yeah, you know, it's starting to get late. I should probably get you home." I don't know if I want to laugh, cry, or cringe, or all three at the same time. I'm in the same boat, Savage, don't worry. I think I'm already doing all three. The Onyx Hedgehog thought of protecting. The Onyx Hedgehog thought of protecting, but at the moment he was exhausted from the day he just had, so he just simply stood up and nodded. The Azure one got up and began down the porch steps. Looked back to see Shadow looking unsure of what to do. Sonic then rushed to the Ebony one's side. "Oh, sorry." He wrapped his arms around the Ebony one's shoulder as they walked off the porch and down the stairs. Oh my, it's getting good, and it's just getting started. Comment and vote. Next part, I need water. Oh dear. Chapter 4, Fuchsia Feared. Another affectionate touching. Another affectionate touching. Shadow tried to ignore the warm, furred arm around his shoulder as they walked. "What's wrong with me?" Shadow screamed internally. The Onyx Hedgehog then felt his ear twitch a bit. What was that noise? Sonic then, startled by the Ebony one, and said, "Oh, hey there. Do you need a hand with that?" Shadow felt the warm presence around his shoulder disappear. Shadow stopped walking. What was that idiot doing? Shadow thought. It's fine, he'll come back, right? When all Shadow could hear was the sound of the wind in his ears, and few cars nearby, panic rose in him. Shit, where was that damn hedgehog? The Azure Hedgehog had run off when he saw a civilian struggling to carry their grocery bags and merely forgetting about Shadow. I mean, it wasn't his fault. ADHD could be like that sometimes. Fourth wall break, I can relate, Sonic-oo. Shadow heard the distant sound of a car, but it seemed to get closer and closer. That when he felt a chill go down his spine. Sonic turned to see the speeding car and fear filled his face. Shit! Sonic whispered. Shadow! He yelled. Then it hit him. The Ebony Hedgehog couldn't see him, and he couldn't hear him because he was far away. Sonic ran over in between the hedgehog and the coming car honking its horn, put his hand out causing the car to screech to a stop, then felt a warm feeling in his hand. Shadow's hand. Shadow was holding his hand. Shadow's hand and his were touching. He knew he couldn't focus on that as they crossed the street. Sonic then stopped to look at the Ebony Hedgehog's face. His face deadpan as ever, but the fear in his eyes told him everything. The Azure Blue then felt overwhelming guilt swallow him. Shadow, I'm so sorry, Don't. Shadow turned away. walking ahead a bit as Sonic caught up. But Shadow! The blue hedgehog tried to put a hand on his shoulder, but everyone jerked away. Shadow stopped walking, almost causing Sonic to crash into him, his now fuchsia-colored eyes flaming with fury. Don't fucking touch me. Sonic felt like his heart had shattered right there on the sidewalk. I really screwed up, didn't I? He thought, as he continued to walk arm length. Okay, he said in a small voice that wasn't like him at all. Shadow was more hurt than anything. He just couldn't believe he just left. He felt so forgotten and abandoned. That hole in the heart that formed ever since Maria died seemed to get bigger. He felt a lump in his throat form a bit, but swallowed his tears back, as he wasn't about to cry in front of his rival. As they walked past other civilians, Shadow could hear their whispers, even if they didn't know. Wow, the ultimate life form is blind. Well, at least we don't have to worry about him blowing up the planet just before he hears you. I can't believe Sonic even hangs out with that monster. Shadow felt himself shrink like a violet, the same way he did when Rouge got the promotion at Gun, and slowly stopped hanging out with the rest of Team Dark. The same way he did when he and Sonic helped defeat Eggman together, but he never gave Shadow the time of day. His shoulders were high near his head. He kept his head down, chewing his lip nervously. Sonic had never seen Shadow so insecure before. It was really out of character for him. He still felt guilty about what happened, even as they rounded the corner of Shadow's house. He found a way to make it up to him. Somehow. Oh, no notes? Alright, next part. Chapter 5, how many minutes do I have with you? Oh, sorry for the delay of this story. Kinda lost the inspo for it, but I'm pushing through. Sad face. Read real, let's get on with the show. Ooh face. You think you'll lurk in case one of your coworkers catch you. You like the QTE. Reflexes swap something more explainable, and you like the money to just eat this into the nearest wall. Then I appreciate the lurkies. We totally understand the need to lurk and avoid those cringy worth moments. As soon as the two hedgehogs made their way inside to everyone's house, Shadow collapsed into the couch. Sonic was quite amused, guessing that Ebony Hedgehog remembered his housing setup by muscle memory. Nice place you got, Shads. Sonic tried to break the tension between the two. The Azure one just stood there, feeling like an invader in Shadow's house. Shadow just grunted back, not looking into Blue Blur's direction in any way. So, Sonic sat next to the Ebony one. What do you want to do? After a few moments of silence, Sonic huffed. How long are you going to pout, Shads? I said I was sorry. The Ebony Hedgehog looked away. I'm not mad at you. Was he could muster? Was he could muster? Before Sonic could respond, Shadow muttered something about heading to his room and walked away. The Azure one was left clueless in the living room, alone with his thoughts. He felt like a jerk. Why do I keep forgetting? Sonic bit his tongue, holding back tears. There was not sense crying about it. It was obvious that Shadow wanted some space. So all he could do now was the one thing he couldn't stand. Wait. Sonic could tell that Shadow was avoiding him. Every time the Azure came the Ebony one's way, his ears would twitch and he'd either walk away or chaos control to his room. Sonic didn't know what the problem was. Shadow said he wasn't mad, but sure as hell acted pissed. Since there wasn't anyone to talk to, the Azure one spent most of his time cleaning the house and such. He swept the floors, tidied the kitchen, after he cooked, and dusted a few times just because he was bored. Shadow didn't exactly need to eat, and Sonic did offer, but he always refused. The blue blur thought he was going to go crazy, even didn't have anyone to talk to. He needed advice from someone he knew how to handle emotions, because it certainly wasn't Sonic. Tails? No, he didn't really know Shadow on a deep personal level, and the young Kitsune was too young to ask for that kind of advice. Amy? Certainly not. Sonic didn't want to have to deal with her attempting to flirt with him every 2 seconds and being clingy as fuck. It wasn't that he didn't like her, she was like a sister to him. But he just didn't like her. Rouge was probably his best bet. She was sensible in some ways, and she knew the most about Shadow than anyone else did. He didn't exactly know if she wasn't busy or not, but it was worth a shot. He quietly walked outside, slowly closed the door and stood on the front porch. The leaves were finally starting to fall after such a brutal summer, but that didn't change the fact that it was still hurricane season. He decided to call and chat with Rouge on the porch because he didn't want Shadow snooping in on the conversation. Sonic dialed a number and a sweet, succulent voice filled the speakers on his phone. "Hello, Big Blue. How are you, hun?" To be honest, not good. He looked around to porch, not to find anyone around. Let me guess, Shadow's giving you a hard time. More like giving me bullshit. I don't know what to do, Rouge. You seem to know Shadow the best, so... What's the problem? Well, I screwed up. Rouge, his voice cracked from the emotion, but he quickly swallowed back the tears that were forcing their way to come out. He kept avoiding me, and he kept avoiding B and hiding in his room. He's trying to run away from his emotions again. I told him he can't do that. Not after. After what, Rouge? Oh shit, I've already said too much. The ivory bat pondered. It's not for me to say. He'll tell you in his own time. Bye-bye, Big Blue. Sonic. He heard the flat dial tone and said anxiously, "After what, Rouge? Hello?" Azure stood there in the cold wind, clueless as ever. What exactly was going on with Shadow? Notes. Sorry this is so short, but I'm starting back with slow with this story, so please bear with me, crying sad face. Read review, heart, add and all that bullcrap. Eyebrows, happy face. What does it take to help a hurting hedgie? Chapter 6. Shadow wasn't mad. Really, he wasn't. There was just so much going on. His thoughts, and in real time, he was just overwhelmed. He hated the feeling of being so vulnerable, especially when it came down to his emotions. He felt so weak in that moment and lashed out at Sonic. Not intentionally, of course. Oh god, I think this story's making me die a little inside. Now he was sitting on his bed. The silence was loud to him. To his dismay, he found that his other senses were heightened while he was in a blind state, and unfortunately, it left him in an agitated at every sound and motion that went past him. No matter how hard he tried, his ear would not stop twitching. He huffed, turning over in his bed, sleep not yet taking over him. It had been at least 3 days, Shadow guessed. It wasn't like he could look at the clock or calendar. 3 days since he and Sonic had fought. 3 days of no sleep or food. He wrapped his arms around himself, rocking back and forth as anxiety crept up his body. He didn't want to go to sleep. He knew if he went to sleep, he'd have that dream again. That gory, disgusting, heart-wrenching dream. He felt his claws digging into his arms, but he didn't care, as long as it kept him awake. Yeah, Wiggles and the honey cakes. That's right, Kite. That's right. He sighed, realizing that sleep would come to him as much as he did want it. He sat up in his bed and walked towards the bathroom. He couldn't turn on the lights. He couldn't turn the lights on since his eyes were still quite sensitive. He stepped slowly inside, the floors creaking beneath him. He fumbled around until he felt his hands touch a cool, smooth countertop. His heart pounded in his ears, his body trembling. He hated this feeling of not being able to see. Everything was dark. It reminded him of being in cryosleep for 50 years. Tears began to fill the corners of his eyes, forcing down a sob by biting his lip. He was having a panic attack. A heart-bitter liquid rose in his throat, but he swallowed back, refusing to give in to his emotions. A knock on the door startled Shadow panicked. A knock on the door startled Shadow panicked even more. His breathing quickened. "A shadow?" the familiar voice said curiously. "I don't mean to bother you, but I thought I heard something." Shadow could hear that Faker didn't really have much to say, considering they hadn't talked in forever. 3 days is forever. "Are you okay? You've been in there for 3 days, Shads. Can I come in?" Sonic spoke gently. "Yes, you can," is what Shadow wanted to say, but every time he opened his mouth, no words came out, but only small whimpers that made him cringe internally. Just like this story! The door opened slowly and the blue hedgehog stepped in slowly. Looking around the room until he saw Shadow at the counter of the bathroom, his eyes wide with fear. With fear tears! Not the fear tears. Dwindling down his face. "Shadow, hey Shadow. I'm here, just breathe." Sonic approached Shadow slowly, not wanting to stall the ebony hedgehog more than he already was. "Hey, can I touch you?" Ooh. Shadow tried to handle his breathing, but he could bring himself to say something, so he nodded his head. Why did I keep on saying noddled? God. The text errors are confusing me now. Sonic took Ebony's hand in his, rubbing his thumb back and forth. His name's Ebony now? Transfem Gills? Nah, this is a yaoi story. "Just take a deep breath, okay?" the Azure Hedgehog said gently. Shadow followed promptly. Sonic has experience in the department. There were times when he fell prey to anxiety and fear during his previous adventures. Reaching his breaking point, he knew what Shadow needed at this moment. A friend. Maybe more than a friend. Maybe. Once the Onyx Hedgehog had gotten a handle on his breathing, Sonic guided him towards his bed. They sat on the edge, Sonic's hand still holding Shadow's. His Shadow felt small again. He couldn't believe he'd lost control. Again, in front of Sonic of all people. This wasn't the first time he lost control, but he thought it would be the last time after the incident. "Just take a deep breath, Shadow," Sonic said. "What are the 4 things you can, hear?" Shadow voice trembling, which made him almost burst into tears. His throat felt scratchy all of a sudden, and his body was shaking a bit. Let me read it. Shadow voice trembling, which made him burst into tears. His throat felt scratchy all of a sudden, and his body was shaking a bit. His hand in Sonic's. "Just take your time, there's no rush, Shads." Sonic said shame. And Sonic said shame? And Shadow knew that Azure Hedgehog was smiling. That same sincere smile. It was a shame that Shadow couldn't see it. I hear the birds outside. The wind. The bed creaking. I don't know, and I hear you. Ebony felt a little more in control now that he had gotten his breathing. I thought his name was Shadow. Okay, good. Sonic sighed. What about 3 things you can touch? Ebony Hedgehog felt a bit more steady. The bed, my quills, and your hand. Sonic blushed slightly. Oh, what are 2 things you can smell? I smell lemon. Shadow looked in the direction of the Azure Hedgehog, his eyes a bit off since he couldn't exactly meet his eye. Shadow sighed, squeezing Sonic's hands occasionally. So, Sonic asked gently, do you want to talk about it? Maybe? Shadow felt his body tremble once more, tears on the verge of falling. No, he couldn't lose control. Not again. Not ever. The incident had taught him that. Don't speak. Be strong. Show no weakness. Rouge would tell him there was nothing wrong with being vulnerable. But what if being vulnerable was the thing that hurt you in the first place? It became harder to hold back his tears. A small sob escaped his mouth. A few tears fell from his face onto his lap, wiping them vastly. Vastly? No, wait, is wiping them vastly with an M. Them. With an I-M, them. Oh god. What did I get myself into? He looked down quickly and said, sorry. Hey, there's no need to apologize for how you feel, Shads. Sonic put his hand on Ebony's shoulder. Shadow sighed. His eyes closed tightly in fear that more of his tears would escape. Take your time, Shads. We don't have to talk right now. Azure Hedgehog began to stand. Ebony quickly grabbed a white-gloved hand, not quite aware of his actions. He let go, flustered that he let his emotions get the best of him. Huh? Sonic turned back. Shadow looked in the direction of Sonic, his eyes wandering and ears pinned to his head. I feel like it's supposed to say wandering. And ears pinned to his head. There were so many things that Ebony wanted to say, but he just couldn't find all the words. It was just too much for him. The sound of the birds and the passing cars near his window felt so loud, but someone special to him taught how to speak, not just with his words. When he couldn't say it out loud, Shadow sighed shakily, signing his hands, I'm sorry. Sonic blinked. Looking directly at Shadow seemed to be a bit embarrassed. Sonic grinned, even though he knew Ebony couldn't see it. Shadow, you have nothing to be sorry for. The Ebony Hedgehog's ears stood. He was surprised that the blue blur actually understood him. But he didn't ponder on it for too long, before signing his next response. I do. Sonic sat down next to Ebony, aloof to his answer. And what exactly is that? Shadow took a shaky breath. I'm the ultimate life form. The Azure one chuckled. I'm a speedy blue hedgehog, so what? I'm a burden too. Hey, don't say that. I think quite the opposite. Sure, annoying, stubborn as fuck, but not a burden. There's something wrong with me. Faker, there's nothing wrong with you. The Ebony Hedgehog sighed. He didn't get it. He didn't understand. Never mind, he sighed. Sonic said, a bit confused at Ebony's dismissal. Shadow, I didn't mean anything but the fucking stubborn thing, you know that, right? Shadow kicked his shoes off, frustrated, laid on his bed facing the window. Why can't I see it? He thought to himself. Oh god, not the cursed shadow toesies. Good thing we can't see him. Come on, Shads, don't shut me out again. That was your hedgehog side. I really thought I was getting somewhere. He muttered to himself, walking out the room, left with the same uncertainty as when he entered. Chapter 7. It's a jungle out there. Sonic's dream point of view? Seriously, I don't know what to do, Sonic sighed. As someone who spent a lot of time with Shadow, I know that he can do a bit. As someone who spent a lot of time with Shadow, I know that he can do a bit closed off. But you caught him in a vulnerable moment, and that's a good thing. Yeah, but the second he opened up, I had to go and say something insensitive and stupid. Sonic sighed, rubbing his face with his hand. I'm such a dumbass. No, you're not, Sonic. There are a lot of things I can say about you, but it wouldn't be that. Sonic huffed. Well, what am I supposed to do, huh? Since you know him the best. You should know what to do. Oh, we're talking to Rouge? Why didn't he point it out? Anyway. No, you're not, Sonic. There's a ton of things I can say about you, but it wouldn't be that. Sonic huffed. Well, what am I supposed to do, huh? Since you know him the best, you should know what to do. Shadow, he's not been honest. Entirely honest with you. She fiddled with her fingers shyly. What do you mean? Oh, you know what's up? Sonic chuckled in bits of disbelief. And you're hiding from me? Well, not exactly hiding. Wait. So it's not Rouge. It's Maria? Like, dead Maria? Okay, let's redo the voice again. Now, Sonic. There's a lot of things I can say about you, but it wouldn't be that. Sonic huffed. Well, what am I supposed to do, huh? Since you know him the best, you should know what to do. Shadow, he's not being entirely honest with you. She fiddled with her fingers shyly. Well, what do you mean? Wait, you know what's up, Sonic chuckled in disbelief. And you're hiding from me? Well, not exactly hiding. Maria, Sonic sighed. Tell me what's wrong with Shadow. I can't, Maria sighed. A long blonde fell to her face. Oh god, it just got a lot worse. Oh, like hell you can't. Sonic shook his head. It's not something I can disclose to a living vessel. It's the rule. She shrugged. Sonic groaned. Maybe you need to dig a little deeper, Sonic. It's not all on the surface. Her ghostly figure faded. Goodbye. I'm just a figment of your imagination. Bye. Maria, wait. I'm dying. I'm dying inside. Get me off this ride. Back to normal POV. Sonic yawned, stretching his back slowly. The TV was still on. A clock on the wall read 4:32 p.m. Oh, hi, Leo. How are you? He must have drifted off, since beside the TV, there's really nothing to do in Shadow's house. The blue hedgehog sat up. The dream still lingered in his head. Maria's words stuck with him. Dig a little deeper, Sonic. It's not all on the surface. You just gotta dig. Bye. What does that even mean? It meant that Sonic needed to take matters in his own hands. He needed to get Shadow out of the house, no matter what it took. He'd been cooped up in the house long enough to make someone insane. Sonic couldn't deny he felt a little crazy from only being able to clean, eat, and watch TV and sleep. Sonic made his way up the stairs, through the hallway, and walked to Shadow's door. He took a reassuring deep breath and walked inside. The room itself was still dark. In order from Tails that any directed light wouldn't hurt Ebony's eyes for about 2 weeks. But knowing that Shadow was the ultimate life form, he healed fairly quickly, so Sonic figured it was fine. The bed was in disarray, and there laid a small lump. Sonic could see the dimly lit room. He knew it was Shadow, as he saw stray black and red quills peeking from under the covers. Shadow? Sonic walked quietly. Then he realized that the ebony hedgehog breath was way too labored for him to be asleep. I know you're not sleeping, Shads. Still, no sound came from Ebony. Sonic sighed. Well, you left me a choice. Sonic walked over to the window, ripping the curtains open. Wake up, motherfucker. Shadow growled, hiding under his covers once more. Ugh, what the hell is wrong with you? Sonic grinned. Time to get your lazy ass out of this house. You've been hiding out here for too long, Shads. Never in my life have I seen Sonic curse as much as I have been in this story, if at all. I don't think Sonic ever cursed. This is so off-putting. Shadow snarled, turning over, his back facing the Azure Hedgehog. Sonic sighed. How'd he get from hating my guts to pouring out his feelings to hating my guts again? Right, Savage? Don't pout, Shadow. Sonic sat on the bed with a disapproving look on his face. I feel like it's even worse since I'm like trying to do Sonic's voice and cursing at the same time. It feels so wrong. I know this week has been shit, but that doesn't give you an excuse to sit here and brood all day. Go away. Shadow whined. Shadow never whined. Please, Shads, for me. Sonic's voice rang through the Ebony Hedgehog's ears like a song. Shadow grumbled a little bit more before sitting up in bed. You're an ass speaker. His quills were every which way. And the bags under his eyes were like grocery bags. Note the fact that Shadow gave in that fast. The gayness is coming. Thank you, Thank you, author. I didn't realize the gayness was coming already. Thanks, I get that a lot, Sonic chuckled. You look like shit, dude. Shadow mumbled, not surprising. The gayness. The gayness is coming, Savage. It's coming, you cannot stop it. He began to stand before Sonic stopped him. Hold your horses, man. I got it. Be right back. The sound of a whirl filled Shadow's ears, knowing that Sonic had run off. What'd I tell ya? Back in the flash, eh? Sonic sat back down, a brush and quill gel in his hands. Quill gel? Is that what they use to get him all spiky? I knew it was a secret. I knew the hedgehogs do something. So, this is how you get your quills to stand, Sonic smirked. Wait, were you snooping in my bathroom? Shadow raised his voice. His head whipped in the general direction of Sonic. Well, The blue hedgehog's voice went up in an octave higher. I wouldn't call it snooping. Now move over so you can fix this mess. Sonic sat behind Shadow on the bed with his legs crossed, brush in his hand. The ebony hedgehog felt the warm touch of Sonic's hand on his quills. A flash of panic filled his chest. He hated the feeling of his quills being touched, since they are the most sensitive part of his body. Oh my. His fuchsia eyes went wide, his quill standing without a second thought. Ouch, Shads. Relax. Sonic scoffed. I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh, precious princess. Shut up. Shadow blushed slightly, a bit embarrassed by his overreaction. It's fine, you're fine. Shadow reassured himself. For the next 5 minutes, the ebony hedgehog did everything he could, from sucker punching Sonic in the face or just running away in general. Go. Why'd he have to be so damn sensitive? He just needed to act normal until his whole blindness was sorted out. Sonic couldn't know. No one could know about his autism or the incident. What's the incident? Shadow's flashback? Shadow, just breathe. You're fine. Why did he feel as if he was going to die? Shadow, look at me. He shook his head furiously. Come on, hun. You have to talk to me in order for me to understand. He sighed. He signed? He signed. Can't breathe. Too much. Shadow, please talk to me. He mustered all the strength inside of him. Too bright. I don't even know who's talking anymore. He mustered all of his strength inside the room. Too bright. The light in the room? It's too bright? Shadow shook his head. Yes. She quickly turned the light off. What else? Shadow cried a little more. Quiet. She sat beside him. Then taking a piece of paper and pen out of her purse, she wrote, I didn't know you react this way. Shadow picked at his gloves, looking at the piece of paper. Me either, he thought himself. Shadow, hello. Mobius to Edgyville, ya in there? Sonic tapped the ebony hedgehog on the shoulder lightly. Oh god, he's about to morb. Huh? Shadow ears twitched a little at the Edger One's sudden voice. Hey, finish your quills. And while you're in Edgy Street, I put your shoes and gloves on. Sonic folded his arms. I even touched those little hedgehog peas. Honk. Oh, why did I do that? Why? Why did I? Oh god. What's this story doing to me? Did I already lose my mind? Oh god. Shadow paused, his fuchsia eyes surprised at such a gesture. Oh, thank you, I guess. Sonic blinked. No problem. Well, there's your hog. Why, I was glad Shadow couldn't see him blushing. Should we get going? I got the perfect place in mind. Okay. Shadow nodded. Alright then. Sonic hand intertwined with Shadow's. Something about his touch makes him feel warm and fluttery. Sonic could feel his heart pounding. He looked over at Ebony as they carefully walked out of his bedroom and down the stairs. His purplish pink eyes went beautifully with his black fur and red highlights. Something about his eyes intrigued Sonic. Maybe he didn't notice it before, but his eyes was filled with mystery. Hell, Shadow the Hedgehog himself was a mystery. He did what he wanted when he pleased. He didn't follow a code of conduct the rest of the world did. Sonic wanted to know more about the mysterious hedgehog. What the hell? Why am I thinking this way? Sonic shook his head. Make all these weird thoughts float away. Shadow took a deep breath as he stopped walking. Gosh, was he really doing this? Going out into a sea of judgmental voices and sheer hate? What had he got himself into? Sonic felt a sudden tug of his arm, realizing that the ebony hedgehog had stopped walking. He looked longingly at Shadow. Hey Shads, what's up? Shadow hated his feeling, so weak and vulnerable and needy. He let go of the Azure One's hand. I'm just... Come on, say it. Tell him that you're not used to this. Shadow was the original edgier. He edged so hard he got Sonic X. Shadow came, yes. Sonic came closer towards him. It's all good, man. There's nothing to worry about. He said you're clear to leave the house because of how fast you heal. Plus, you got me. Ah, yes. I got the hero of Mobius attached to my hip. It's definitely not gay at all. Shadow joked, a ghost of a smile on his face. Sonic snorted. Did you just make a joke? Shadow shrugged. Maybe. Sonic chuckled. Look, dude. Don't worry about what others will think of you. First off, fuck them. Second, you don't have me as a hero of Moe's the world's fastest hedgehog. You have me as your friend. Your best friend, even. If that's what you want. I mean, I'm not going to force you or anything, because I tend to be a little annoying at times. Yes, Hedgehog. Shadow rolled his eyes. I guess we can be friends. Best friends. Sonic smiled widely. Well, alright then. Are you ready to go now? The Azure One... Oh, are you ready to go now? The Azure One asked as he opened his hand out towards Shadow's hand. Ebony grabbed with no hesitation. Shadow took a deep breath and nodded as the rivals, best friends, stepped out into the sunlight. Oh my god. I feel like I'm losing something important in my soul. But we're all in this together. Chapter 8, It's a Jungle Out There, Part 2. Shadow hated us. He hated being out, especially like this. He wasn't one for appearance. He wore the same thing every day for the past 50 years. And by that, it's just like bangles and some gloves and some shoes. Thumbs up. So really, he shouldn't have bothered him that much. But the sounds of whispers and quickened footsteps told him all he needed to know. The judgmental scent in the air, a waft of expensive floral perfumes and fatty fried foods. Cars zoomed past louder than normal. The Ebony chatter people passed by. Their continuous laughter filled Ebony's ears. It was so loud. It felt like everything was screaming at him. But with Sonic's hand intertwined with his, he somehow managed to keep calm. It made him feel safer. Sonic could see that Shadow was more tense than usual. Shadow did say something about his other senses being heightened since his vision was temporarily gone. Gosh, was this really a good idea? Sonic thought to himself. But knowing that Ebony needs some type of comforting, he grabbed a white-gloved hand and whispered in his ear, If you feel yourself getting nervous, squeeze my hand as hard as you can. People whispered, pointed and stared at the two hedgehogs, hand in hand. Sonic was glad that Shadow couldn't see their irritated faces. After all, they were Mobius' famous hero. But in the eyes of most people, the ultimate life form was still seen as a villain. A monster, even. Sonic rolled his eyes and continued to guide Ebony to the subway station. The Azure Hedgehog figured since the city was filled with people, Shadow would need somewhere to decompress for a while. He figured with his hero status and charming looks, he could get the two their own subway car. Note! I don't know, but I just love this ADHD Sonic and ASD shadow shipping right now. Heart, heart, heart. Also note, now I'm imagining them trading fidget toys like their Pokemon cards. Oh, open sad face. They then took a sharp left, walking their way down the stairs to the station's car. As they stepped inside, making it inside an empty car just in time. Still, Sonic held tightly to Shadow's hand. Something about them being hand in hand. He never let anything happen to the Ebony Hedgehog. After holding his breath the whole entire walk, sighed, glad to be from the noise of the city. Hey Ebbs, how you holding up? Sonic asked. Sonic never called... No, that's fine. This is fine. Generally concerned for Shadow. It was very out of character for him to ask this, especially to Ebony. But he wanted to make him feel that his feelings were valid. Ebbs? Shadow raised an eyebrow. His eyes settled on the ground. Sonic blushed furiously. Shads? I mean, Shads, sorry. Don't apologize. That's a nice change of pace. Shadow closed his eyes before noticing a morph in his hands. Baker? Huh? Sonic looked over at Ebony. You're still holding my hand. Oh, my bad. Sonic was a little disappointed that he noticed, since he did enjoy the feeling of holding Shadow's hand. What's wrong with him? He shook it off once more. Shadow wasn't going to lie. He kinda wished Sonic had kept holding his hand. You've yet to yell at me, Hedgehog. Shadow questioned. Where are we going? Sonic shook his head and tisked. Nuh-uh, nope, that's a surprise. I hate surprises. Well, shit. You're gonna love them today, Buttercup. Can you at least give me a hint? Sonic thought for a moment and sighed. Fine, I will stop all your complaining. It's a place in my past. Didn't want to give him too much detail considering it had been years since he had been back to this place. Shadow scowled as such an ominous answer. Sonic then thought of a question that had been on his mind lately. So Shads, what's it like being blind? Huh? The Ebony Hedgehog wasn't sure how to answer this. It's just gray. And in the dark, it's a darker gray. When the sun is out, it's a lighter gray. I guess it's just dull. Oh, Sonic nodded nervously. He wasn't one for awkward silence, and Shadow seemed to notice this. Can we just not talk? Sit in the silence. Shadow said, a bit exasperated by Sonic's endless waterfall of questions. Oh yes, sure, sorry. Badger Hedgehog looked out of the window boredly. The pang of guilt filled Ebony. Maybe he was too harsh in his query. Was his response not kinder? Ugh, why did he care? He's just a friend. Shadow then found himself only being able to think of Sonic. He tried directing his thoughts elsewhere, even old memories of past adventures, but each one involved the blue faker. It seemed that every tough obstacle he faced in life, Sonic had always been by his side, no matter how hard he tried to run away. Rouge always told him that he couldn't run from his feelings forever. Shadow planned on doing it for as long as he could, but what were the feelings of longing to be with Sonic? Why couldn't he stop think about him? Maybe some of the pink substance Eggman had been seeping in his brain. Or maybe he was just traumatized, overthinking edgy anthropomorphic hedgehog. The first answer sounded about right. It wasn't until the sound of the train screeching to a stop that Shadow realized that he had fallen asleep. They were in the train for about 1 hour and a half. Thanks? Sonic, gently shaking Ebony awake, said softly, Hey Shads, gotta wake up dude, we're here. Shadow stood up, Sonic immediately grabbing into Ebony's hand. What was with him? Shadow thought to himself. Ever since they left almost car incident, it seemed that Sonic had gone helicopter mode. You'd ask him about later. What? Ever since they left almost car accident, it seemed that Sonic had gone helicopter mode. What do those words even mean? What do they mean? I don't understand. The two hedgehogs stepped out of the train and Azure Hedgehog was met with the most beautiful view. Sonic looked over Ebony's expression, looked confused more than anything. Sonic grinned widely. Welcome to Chunan. He then scratched his back of head with his free hand. Oh right, I know you can't really see the view, but that's one of the main reasons I brought you here. Come on. Before Shadow could utter a word, he was being dragged somewhere else with the blue blur. He felt people pushing against him, his arms against arms. Feet stepped on feet. What was happening? It all felt like a blur. Then the warmth in his hand vanished. Before he knew it, he had been swept away from the crowd. Sonic, Shadow said, his voice shaking. For the first time in his life, he let himself be consumed with his worst enemy, fear. You reached the end of the published parts. Well, we finished it. We finished it. We don't have any next parts. You completely zoned out and you see that you are now questioning if you want to violently eject your Brian's via projectile going south as a sound brown barrier. Please don't eject your Brian. Please do not hurt your Brians. Wow, that was a treat. Now let's go find something else to read. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Daisuga, Unspoken Bond. Fireplace. I love you, bunny. Complete. The Second Prince. Naruto Uzumaki, Kitsunia Fade. The Emperor's beloved crazy wife? Let's see, we got the pain that made me feel good. Hitalia? We got Hitalia. I still remember Hitalia. Let's see. I'm glad that the Hitalia fanfictions are still going strong. Let's see, what else we got? Shikamaru Shoji. Oh my. Pokemon Ultra Sun, Polymori Yaoi. Binary Brothers Yaoi. Skibbity Toilet Extreme. Yep, that's exactly what we're doing this, Savage. I mean, that's where all the best fanfics are at, right? Let's see. Tom's Diary. Oh my. This story tells the adventures of Tom and Jerry from a different perspective. Here their characters are a human teenager, facing their misadventures of high school life. Oh dear. Mr. Miller and Mr. Patterson. Oh, there's so many gold mines. I don't know what to read. Yellow Sun and Purple Moon. My. They wrote 19? God dang. Oh god, people are still writing about Jack Frost. Oh god. Total Drama Island yaoi. Oh my god. I'm dying with you. Shad Silver story. And it has 24 parts. Oh dear, oh god. Ah, fuck, oh shit. Losing dignity. Yeah, I feel like I lost my dignity. Oh dear. More than a beast. Oh my god, is this Megatron and Optimus yaoi? How do they even do it? Oh god. Man. My feelings, just man. Mikey and Raph, Teenage Mutant Turtles. Oh, it's in Spanish? I can't read Spanish. There's so many things I never thought could be possible. Listen to your heart. Oh no. But still surprising amount of Naruto. Don't fuck with this, Piercer. Can a patriot love a commie? Oh, I'm dead. I'm dying. Please. Please. I feel like I'm dying. Oh, slime care package. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, big stretch. Let's go. Oh dear God. A love story for the Buckaroos. Dare I? Dare I read it? Yeah, we are, Savage. Yeah, we are. Oh, I feel like I'm going to regret this. Let's see, don't mention it, I know this might sound weird, but do you, what is it? Don't be shy. I don't mind questions, said Sonic. Well, I was wondering if after your shift you wanted to eat somewhere. Not for another date or anything, I just want to know you better. I want to be your friend. Oh, you want to be my friend? Why would you want to befriend someone like me? Something about Sonic memorized Shrek from the moment he first laid eyes on him. He had no clue that simple conversation could make a huge difference in his mundane yet complicated life. Let's see, what's the tags? Cuteness, ex-wife, friends to lovers. I'm bad at TTAGs. Incompleted, non-smut, romance fanfiction, Shrek. Shrek is love, Shrek is life, simple. Sonic fanfiction, Sonic the Hedgehog, ooh woo. What the hell is this? Yaoi fanfiction. Let's do it. How long is this? Yep, okay. Let's do it. There's only one chapter, so. Well, I gotta see what my Shrek voice is like now. Shrek had been waiting in line for 2 hours to get the new Choco Supreme Latte from Strawbucks. He had seen it being advertised a whole week, and as soon as he laid eyes on it, he knew he had to drink it for himself. But now that he was here, he was beginning to have second thoughts. Were people this eager to get an overpriced latte that they saw online? Why were they willing to wait this long to get a drink? Nevertheless, Shrek was doing the exact same thing as those buckaroos. He was getting closer and closer to the counter, which caused his excitement to grow. But he was still so far away from it. He longed to have his hands on a new latte, even if it was an overpriced drink you could make at home. A few minutes had passed by, and Shrek had gotten tired of waiting. He turned around to leave the store when all of a sudden, he heard a ding. He turned around to see a blue hedgehog enter through a door behind the counter. He put on his uniform in a flash, so fast that Shrek almost thought he disappeared. Employee turned around to face Sonic. Sonic, you're late again. What did I tell you last time? If you're late again, I might get you killed by our boss. Sorry, Tina. I promise it won't happen again. I just got back from my other job, said Sonic. Just give me the orders, I'll get them done in no time. Tina sighed. Just get it done quickly, you idiot. Sonic put on his apron and got to work, churning and mixing all the drinks with incredible speed. Shrek squinted, and yet he couldn't see what the hedgehog was doing with all those drinks. At the moment, Shrek felt a strange feeling tug at his heart. His pulse heightened, his palms started sweating, and his face felt warm. He couldn't describe this feeling. He hadn't felt it in years. And yet the sight of his hedgehog had him mesmerized. He couldn't take his eyes off him. He wanted to get to know him, though he was unsure why. He wanted to talk to him even after he approached him for his drink. I'm going to ask him for his number, he thought. I have to do it. After what felt like forever, Shrek was ready to order his drink. But before he did, he gathered up his courage and talked to Sonic. He asked the cashier for the Choco Supreme Latte. Hello? How was your day? Chimed Shrek. Sonic was shrugging to open the blender. It's been good, though. I've seen better days. What you did back there was pretty amazing, you know, when you mixed and blended all those smoothies. I was in the line for hours, and as soon as you came in, shortened in minutes. You're incredible at what you do. Never seen someone work that fast. Sonic slightly covered his face with his hand. Thank you. Don't mention it. I know this might sound weird to you. What is it? Don't be shy. I don't mind the questions, said Sonic. Well, I was wondering if after your shift you wanted to eat somewhere. Not for a date or anything, I just want to know you better. I want to be a friend. Oh, you want to be my friend? Oh, you want to be my friend? Why would you want to befriend someone like me? Well, I don't know you very well, but you seem pretty amazing to me. I mean, you made all those drinks in no time. And you seem polite to all the customers even though you seem stressed. Oh, sorry. I must have made you uncomfortable. I must have made you comfortable. Yes, this is a very comfortable situation for everyone. No, it's completely fine. Sonic looked at the blender for a moment, his mind deep in thought. Okay, I'll do it. Tell me where to meet you. Make it quick, the customers behind you are getting kinda rowdy. Oh, okay. Here's my number. And I'll meet you at a zip across the street. That's just pizza backwards. What time does your shift end? It ends at 6 p.m. Oh, okay, great. I'll see you then. Goodbye. Beamed Shrek. Oh, and let me help you with that. Shrek grabbed the lid of the blender and pulled it apart with ease. Thank you, said Sonic. You're welcome. Just as Shrek was about to walk away, he heard Sonic call him. Oh, I almost forgot. What's your name? My name's Shrek. Shrek glanced at Sonic's name tag. It was nice to meet you, Sonic. You too, Shrek. Shrek grabbed his drink and walked giddily out the door. His heart wouldn't stop beating, and there was this funny feeling in his lungs. He felt like he couldn't breathe, even though he was breathing fine. He wondered what made him so intrigued by this hedgehog. Was it his looks, his personality, or maybe something more? His palms and forehead started sweating as though more and more about the totally platonic date at Zip. He totally didn't react this while meeting people, so why was he sweating so much? Shrek tilted his head towards the sky as he felt drops of rain landing on his forehead. He breathed in and out, soaking in the fresh smell of rain and flowers. His heart beat steady and his sense became less heightened. He was ready to go home. His sweaty palms were now replaced with fuzzy feelings. Deep down, he wished that Sonic would come, and he wouldn't ghost him. His heart started beating for the first time in years. Author's note. I don't know what the fuck that was. Yay, we did it. We read it. Yay. Give ourselves a pat on the back. Yeah. Oh dear God. Oh dear. Yeah, that wasn't worse. I feel like we could do a lot worse. Now let's see. My housewife husband. Tony and Shrek. Oh my god. My possessive Neko. How about our next one be... Oh my god, this has 60 parts? God dang. Oh my god, there's Ed's World? Oh my god, there's Ed's World. And isn't that just Ed with Tomska? Oh my god, the tale of Kinger and Kane. Right? You would think there would be plenty. This was written as a gift from my friend Gummy. She asked for this like 3 months ago. Sorry, but here it is. Hope you like it, Gummy and whoever reads this. Well, you're in luck, because I'm gonna read it. Oh god, that title. Chapter Heartne? Stick with the La Heart virus and anal fissures. Oh. Huh. It was awfully quiet and still in the digital circus in the mornings, as they were all sleeping. While they all slept, however, Kate and Bubbles, his lovely assistant, sat at the table together, having an early breakfast at the restaurant beyond the void, which cannot be accessed by the circus members, awaiting their order of a big spaghetti to share and eat together with their hands. Kane and Bubbles' conversation continued on both of them being stupid shitheads, weren't really saying anything of matter of value, probably just dumb and stupid catchphrases they were programmed to say. Kane, being an AI, could of course never sleep, but again, why would he want to when there's so much to do in the digital circus? That is one thing that he doesn't understand about humans. Despite their admittedly unfortunate situation, Kane does his best to make the circus fun and happy for the fun of them, and tries to keep them occupied with adventures, but nothing he does for them seems to work in the long run, and many of the circus members have abstracted by now, driven to insanity. And then there's Kinger, who has been in the circus the longest currently. Kinger in particular fascinated Kane. I mean, it's quite obvious to the others Kane favors him. He himself doesn't understand his attachment to Kinger. Most emotions other than jubilance is a complete mystery to him. I mean, that is what he was programmed to have. Why do I feel this overwhelming feeling about him? I've never felt this way about another. Maybe I'm just sick, Kane wonders to himself. I think I will go to the doctor. Bubble sits opposite of Kane, noticing he has gone silent. He is usually blabbing about whatever adventure he has planned, or whatever else he's programmed to say about, but nothing. You've gone awfully quiet, Kane. My good buddy, what's eating you? I am. Kane, caught off guard, stutters out a response. I think I'm going to go to the doctor. I feel ill. Oh, alright. I really wanted that spaghetti though. They both get up from their seats and walk out of the restaurant, which transitions to a doctor office gradually as they keep walking. Bubble is suddenly the doctor wearing a nurse hat somehow. The doc is in. What seems to be the problem, Kane? You're the doctor. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, well, I have been feeling strange lately. What do you mean, Kane? Well, sometimes I feel my heart skip a beat, and I feel this overwhelming feeling of feeling. Kane fiddles with his hands nervously. When do you get these feelings of feelings? I can't stop thinking about, someone, and that's when I get these feelings. Kane, I think you're in love with someone. Who is someone? In love? Huh, what? I've never been in love. That's crazy. Kane thought to himself. The idea itself sounded absolutely preposterous. In love. But he didn't know anything about love. He only knows about fun activities and adventure and pain. Much pain. Specifically a pain in anus as of late. Owie, ouchie, I think I have... That caught me up. Okay. Owie, ouchie, I think I have an anal fissure again. None of your fucking beeswax bubbles, that's who. Despite Kane snapping at bubbles, they don't break their smile, only slowly blinking in response. Kane, dumbfounded, changes the conversation. So, can you also check this? Kane has certainly got a case of love, but he also probably got another... But he probably also got another anal fissure again. Hey, we reached the end. Oh god. I didn't think you were the care package, Savage. Oh god. I felt like that was cursed. That was just cursed. That's just cursed to be cursed. Alright, well, what we got? Oh, hello. Omega Leonidas, thank you for the raid. It's a pleasure to see you. I'm Gerlina, the honey slime who aims to be an idol one day. And today, due to a subathon reward, we are reading very cursed yaoi fanfiction. The cringe is strong. It's incredibly strong. And also, why is there yaoi of Plankton and Kokichi? How would that even work? Hey, Bakugo and male reader? Well, that's... I mean... It's Boku no Hero Academia. Now let's see what we got. Oh my god, this is a dream app story? Oh my god. Boku no Hero Academy one-shot. Tamaki's in love with Mirio. But little does he know, Mirio also has a crush on Tamaki. A simple day in college was suddenly while Tamaki and Mirio was hanging out together. To be fair, I never watched My Hero Academia, so I wouldn't know how to voice the characters. I feel like it will show up eventually with Deku and Momo or whatever. Or whatever Explodey Boy is. Mr. Detective. Let's see. Oh my god. We got Ranger fanfics. We have the Country Balls fanfic. Oh my god. What? Getting into Purin? Oh my god. What's with this image? The love of my life is a boy? I mean, of course. I would expect nothing less of an Evangelion. There's already gay undertones in that show anyway, so. Bottom Baku smut shots, of course. Italy. Wait, is this yaoi of like? It has to be Italy and Romania, right? Or maybe, no, that's not Romania. Romania has different hair. So it's just two Italias. Let's see. Oh my god, we have another Kane and Kinger one shot. Insane. Why is there just a ton of Naruto? I feel like that's just that the Naruto yaoi fanfics are just still going as strong as they can be even today. Oh my god, we have Kingdom Hearts yaoi. Oh my god. Oh my god, this priest is so twisted. Oh, Baku Deku. Then we got more Naruto. Hey, we got Mario and Luigi. Victor and Frankenstein. Oh god. Oh my god, we got Among Us. Oh god, what's with this picture? Tiny Balls, Simon and Alvin. Oh. Oh no. We're just gonna go down. Let's see. After graduation, Karma and Nagisa. Oh my. Well, I guess we gotta read this. Let's see, smut story about Karma and Nagisa. See and also experience them with how their love for each other bloom even more after death. Even more after theft graduation, taking small steps to make the relationship a bit spicier. All characters are grown up 18 plus. Well, good thing this is a lewd stream. Smut. Third person point of view. Max already had a big crush on Karma ever since they were in their first year up until they were graduates. Nexa didn't confess since he thought that it might ruin their friendship and also scared of getting rejected. Nagisa didn't know that Karma had the same feelings for him. Both of them didn't get to confess to each other as Nagisa thought that Karma may have a crush on Okuda. Karma, on the other hand, was scared to confess since it was graduation and that Nagisa might not stay in contact with him anymore and might not hang out with him anymore. Oh yeah, my streams have always been lewd. It's always like a, I have a little thing on my stream checked off, it's like, this stream is for a mature audience because of sexual themes. And I usually always have it up just in case. Because sometimes I get a little unhinged. After graduation, all of Class 3E went out to go grab some drinks to celebrate their graduations, as they are successful in their school year, even though there is still sadness in their hearts after they just killed or eliminated most of their most loved sensei, Koro sensei. Also, should we take a shot every time they say graduate? Karma and Nagisa were sitting next to each other as they talk about their memories they made throughout their years that have been classmates. Nagisa was so happy to be able to talk to Karma, and the feelings were mutual. Karma was even smiling while he was talking to Nagisa. Their classmate already had a feeling that the two would end up together since they are pretty close from the start. Class 3E celebrated. They eat up a lot of food, and also others are singing in the karaoke. They were all having a very good time. Nagisa's point of view. As we were having fun, I couldn't help but just stare at Karma and admire his handsome face. And how couldn't I like how tall he is and he has that amazing figure. I once tried to stop my feelings to fall for Karma. I was scared of ruining our friendship and just thought that I have no chance of being with them since he might just have a crush on someone in our class as well. That's fair, Savage. For many days, I wanted to confess, but I couldn't since I was so scared. Karma is such a tall and handsome boy, but I didn't really have a crush on him because of his looks, but I fell for him because he is just being him. But I couldn't stop this feeling for him, especially when I see him almost every day. Instead of stopping my feelings for him, my feelings just grew even more. I didn't even realize that Karma was also looking at me. I immediately looked away and could feel myself blushing. I tried to look again, only to see him still staring at me. I couldn't help but feel so embarrassed. I wish I could just bury my face in the ground. After a few seconds, I stood up and said to Kayano that I would just go out to get some air since the party was intense and really is noisy, especially from all the singing and chatting by the others. I saw Karma was still looking at me as I went out from the place when I finally exited the place. From the place when I finally exited the place, I couldn't believe that it was already nighttime. I couldn't help but take my phone out of my pocket to only see it was only 9:23 p.m. I couldn't believe how intense they were celebrating, but this is graduation. Who cares, right? At least we're living our life as teens, since I surely know the future will all be adults and barely have time for fun again. I was looking at the starry night when I heard the bell and the door ring, making me look only to see Karma also come out. Hey, what are you doing here all alone? Karma said. Oh, just getting some air, clearing out my mind, since you guys are so intense inside. I replied to him while also letting out a small chuckle. Hey, so we have the same thoughts, huh? Karma said, smiling while rubbing the back of his head and began to stare at the starry night as well. Karma's point of view. I immediately knew what to do when I saw Nagisa stood up and went out. I know this is going to be my chance to confess to him. I do hope that it's going to go smoothly and positively. My heart skipped a beat when I saw him looking at me earlier, but good thing I kept my control. I went out as well, letting Nagisa to be alone for a few seconds. Third person point of view. Both Karma and Nagisa just stared at the sky for a few seconds as Karma suddenly spoke out. Nagisa, he said while looking a bit nervous, even gulping. Nagisa looked at him with a confused face since he rarely seen Karma like this. What is it, Karma-kun? Nagisa replied, tilting his head to the side a little. For Karma, it's a take the hit or miss the odds. Karma took a deep breath and blurted out, "Nagisa, I like you." Karma said while his hands were both placed on Nagasa's shoulders. A fist while Nagisa stood there just frozen, so shook on what he just heard coming from Karma. Nagisa then placed one of his hands on Karma's cheek and said, "I also like you, Karma-kun." Nagisa smiled at him as their face was a bit closer to each other.
Time skippy. Time skippy.
4 years after, both Karma and Nagisa had a job since they're now adults. Karma's job is Ministry of Economics, Trade and Investments, while Nagisa's job is a trainee teacher at a municipal school. For the first 2 years, Karma had been a suitor for Nagisa. He was very patient with Nagisa since he loves him so much. Karma bought Nagisa some gifts like flowers, chocolates, and take Nagisa on some dates. Of course, Nagisa also made some efforts for Karma since he doesn't just want Karma the only one putting time and effort to this. Karma didn't try anything to seduce Nagisa since he knows that the cute little harmless animal is not ready for it yet. And for another year, Nagisa finally said yes to Karma, as they are now finally called boyfriends. Nagisa was nervous at first, but Karma was so patient with him and would always give him the time he needs. Both of them spoils each other when it comes to quality time and physical touch, but Karma always spoils Nagisa with different types of gifts. For another year, it was finally their anniversary of being together. Karma took Nagisa to a hotel since he just want their first time doing it to be special. Nagisa doesn't have any idea what is happening tonight, since he just thought it would just be a regular stay at a hotel thingy. You know, just normal boyfriend hotel things. I wanted to surprise Nagisa, so when we arrived at our hotel room in the hotel, I immediately put the do not disturb sign and locked it. "Hey Nagisa, come here," I said, holding him on the shoulder, and walked out to the bed, letting him sit on the bed while we were doing it. Devil emoji face. Okay, what is it, Karma? Nagisa asked as he was so confused on what's happening, and what is Karma planning. "Oh, just something," I replied as I blindfolded Nagisa with the tie that I was using since I don't have anything to blindfold him with. Karma, what's the blindfold for?" Nagisa asked with confusion on his tone of voice. And then they plop him on the bed and going, "Pomp, what are we doing on the bed?" Nagisa's point of view. After being blindfolded by Karma, all I could feel is a soft bed where I am sitting at the moment, and all I could hear is Karma's movements. Kind of doing something with some clothes? I don't really know what Karma is actually doing, and making me nervous, making my heart beat so fast. After a few moments, Karma finally took off the blindfold, and to my surprise, I saw Karma being naked right in front of me. I immediately blushed so red from the side in front of me, I couldn't help but look at his dick, and it was so huge and thick. I think it was about the 8-inch size. "Ready for this cutie?" Karma said with a smirk on his face, while he sliced a lotion of some sort on his abs. Letting me enjoy the view of his hot, sexy body, I could feel myself drooling at the sight of Karma doing that. Third point of view. Karma quickly approached Nagisa, lips kissing her passionately as they kiss, Karma would begin to undress Nagisa's clothes while also feeling how smooth Nagisa's skin is. Since Karma had the strength, he could easily lift up Nagisa and just position him on the head of the bed. Nagisa broke the kiss for a second to catch up his breath, but Karma suddenly snatched his lips again while feeling each other's body here. Do you hearing as they feel each other's body? Nagisa could feel how hard Karma's muscles is making Nagisa get so turned on. After some time now, Karma finally released Nagisa's lips, but quickly attacking Nagisa's neck, he slurps and sucked on it, leaving traces of hickeys on his neck. He also leaves some bite marks near Nagasa's shoulders. Nagasa didn't fight back, and all he could do in the moment is just moan and grip on Karma's hair a bit. He was so powerless from what Karma is doing to him, and yet he enjoys it. Nagasa suddenly jumped a little when he suddenly felt Karma's fingers was on his asshole, while feeling a cold substance on it. Calm down, Nagasa. I am kissed. I am kissed prepping you out. I don't want to hurt my little bunny on furthest time taking my whole cock. Karma let out a low chuckle while also smirming at Nagasa. Nagasa just gulped and questioned him. Is it even gonna fit? Nagasa said, but Karma replied, of course it will. You take every length and inch of it. Karma then continued to lube out Nagasa, pressing on Nagasa's hole, while letting his fingers slowly enter that cute pink tight hole. Karma, Nagasa moaned while one of his hands gripped onto the bed pillow. Relax, Nagasa. Second finger is coming in. Karma said he put his second finger inside of Nagasa's hole. Karma begins to scissor his finger inside of Nagasa to make his hole stretch and get used to it. There, you're doing fine, baby. Karma said as he puts his third and fourth finger in and makes it and made Nagasa's hole get super tight around those fingers, while also letting out some moans and groans. The good thing is that the room is soundproof. Thank God. So Nagasa could scream and moan as loud as wants to be. You're done. It's ready, Karma said, licking his lips and holding his cock with one of his hands, aligning his cock on Nagasa's prepped hole. You ready, Nagasa? Karma asked to first to the view of Nagasa's panting and sweating a little. Yes, but please go ahead and be gentle. Nagasa said to Karma while staring right into Karma's eyes. Also, in no hotel you've been had soundproofing. Yeah. Maybe this hotel's special. Maybe it has soundproofing. Maybe it's a special hotel. Oh, I'll be gentle, alright, Nagasa. Karma smiled a little as he slowly enters Nagasa's hole. But then Karma suddenly thrusted up hard, making his whole cock enter Nagasa's hole in one go. Nagasa's eyes widened when he felt Karma did that, and made him scream out, feeling the pain of how big Karma's cock is feeling his skull getting stretched so wide. Nagasa's hole got super tight around that cock, making Karma groan and chuckle a bit, feeling pleasure around his cock. Oh, you're eating the honey? Oh no. Ah. Oh god. Kind of feels weird reading smut while my door is wide open. I hope no one was hearing me. Oh god, I hope no one was hearing me say all that. I will literally die of embarrassment. Where was I again? I'll just start here then. Nagasa's eyes widened when he felt Karma did that and made him scream out the feeling of how big Karma's cock is, feeling the hole getting stretched so wide. Nagasa's hole got super tight around that cock, making Karma groan and chuckle a bit, feeling pleasure around his cock. Oh my god. Oh no. I do not have money to rent apartments, so I live with parents. Because the housing market is a joke. Yee-hoo! Ha-ha! Next, oh wait, no. Sorry, Nagasa-chan. I couldn't help it. Your hole is so tempting, and I've been wanting to fuck this ass of yours for 4 years. Kama said as he gripped on Nagasa's small waist and begins to thrust and fuck Nagasa's in a hard and fast pace despite it's Nagasa's first time. Nagasa, on the other hand, was feeling pain at first. All he could do is just moan and watch Karma devour his hole with his massive cock. One of Nagasa's hand was gripping on the pillow while the other is gripping on the bed sheets. After some time, Nagasa finally started to feel pleasure on his hole as Karma's cock was also hitting Nagasa's sweet spot inside. Nagasa's eyes were rolling, his legs were shaking from the pleasure he is now feeling. Fuck, Nagasa, your hole is so tight, you wanna make me come, ooh. When Karma shouted, come, when Karma shouted come, he thrusted his harps harder inside Nagasa's hole. As Karma bursted out a lot of warm, thick cum inside of Nagasa's cock. Because of the thrust, Nagasa let out a loud moan. He also suddenly spurted out some cum, landing on his tummy again on Karma's abs. Nagasa's hole got super duper tight again when he came, while Karma was still filling up with his cum. Super duper. A few moments have passed. Like, there's just something about super duper that I have to do that voice every time I see it, no matter the context. But I got that super duper tight. I feel like my ancestors are disappointed in me for a long time now. Karma looked at Nagasa and went down to kiss Nagasa on the forehead. Sorry for being rough on you. On your first time, babe. I lost control. Sorry, I love you, Karma said to Nagasa, giving the blue-haired boy a kiss on the lips this time. It's okay, I guess. I think I'm gonna pass. I think I'm gonna pass out. Nagasa said as he closed his eyes and really fell asleep from the exhaustion, since taking a big cock is also hard work for the bottoms. Let's hear it for the bottoms. Karma pulled out and lay down next to Nagasa, tucking up both of them with a blanket. I love you, Nagasa, Karma said, kissing Nagasa once again, falling asleep beside him. The end. Word count 2,309. Hope you guys enjoyed the new smut that I have written. Please do support my stories of smut and keep on waiting for new updates, as there'll still be more smut shots coming your way. Until next time, bye. Happy face, happy face. Oh dear. How about one more story, and then we'll wrap it up. I think I'm dying. I'm just going to ignore that one. Well, let's see. Harudai? What we got? Oh my god, that's a chin. You could stab someone with that. Boy, you're looking out here like a goddamn Doritos. Oh my god, one shots of Stony Spidey Pool? Oh my god, is that a three-way? What we got? Oh my god, there's a JoJo fanfic, not surprised. Oh my. Bruno. Oh my. We need a curse something. We need something cursed. Can the site grant us something cursed? Because we need it. We want it. Femboy X-Mail Reader one-shots. I mean, we do appreciate the femboys. Is that Sid and that one villain from that one Puss in Boots movie? Okay. I mean, that's pretty cursed. That's pretty cursed. But I'm not reading through 2 chapters of that. Oh my. Ooh. Anything with cursed characters, cringy characters, we need it. Something goofy. We got that Pokemon fanfic. Huh. More Edworld. Huh. Alright. Save me, Sasuke, love story. Naruto fanfics are just too easy. We don't need that. Moister than an oyster. What? I'm scared. That just scares me. That's just not cringe. That's just primal fear. Show us the prize. We can do it. Ugandan Knuckles? God, that's been forever ago, huh? What? That makes ugly Sonic look good. I feel like I already did enough. I already did enough Sonics. Izuki the Nine-Tailed Fox. Oh god, this is probably out there, Savage. It's probably out there and I'm scared. Oh, we have America and the UK. There's 6 though. I'm so tempted though. How many? Let me see. I just want to see. 6 chapters. Albert seems like a normal boy. America seems like a normal boy who enjoys video games, eating junk food, and annoying his twin brother. But when they turn 15, things change and America starts to worry more and more about his family heritage. He changes and gets scared. Would his family understand? Would they hunt him down and kill him? He runs away knowing he can't be with his family anymore. He wants his new family. A pack just like him. A werewolf pack. What? Get that out of here. Oh no, we made it back to the top. God dang it. This is fine. Oh, hi Rusum. Here. I got some beer. I need some beer for this. Oh, maybe this is a good thing. Oh wait, it just reloaded everything. Oh no. Let's just go way back down here again. You're here for the cringe. Wonder how long it will take for it to load everything. Oh god. Ah! Everything is okay. Looks like I just want to read that. Fine, we'll refresh. We'll refresh the page. You're here for the moral support? I appreciate that, then. Fine. Fine, just for you, Rusum. I need to see. Star Wars. Huh, I guess there's no Star Wars yaoi. Go figure. Sorry, Rusum. I tried. Wait a second. Nope, okay. I thought that was yaoi for a second. Rusum, you got to be the one to make the Star Wars yaoi. You got to. It's up to you. Oh my. Because my baby boy is more important than maths. Get your daily dose of fluffy take hook right here. Who needs math when you got a baby boy? Rusum, I'm scared. I only eat moving prey. 32 chapters. Oh god, what's happening? Why did everything go dark? I can't move. Oh. I don't want that. Get that out of my face. And then we're back here. Okay. But we have Superman and Batman. I know you like Batman. Page is unresponsive. God dang it. Oh, is it trying to load everything back up again? Oh god, no wonder. Oh dear, it's trying to load. This is fine. Chewie's married. Rusum, how dare you remind me of that movie? How dare you remind me of Light Day? I can't believe you would do this. Please, for the love of God, Savage, do not look up Light Day Star Wars. It's a Christmas movie and it's cursed. It's probably more cursed than all this. Please, I just want to load. It captures the chaotic hilarity of Clark's essentially dating Bruce and Batman simultaneously without realizing they're the same person, while Bruce gleefully juggles both sides of their relationship. It's equal parts rom-com, superhero drama, and a love story for all the ages. Oh dear. That's not too long. Clark has no idea Bruce is Batman, and Bruce is perfectly fine keeping it away for now. As Bruce Wayne, he is affectionate, thoughtful in his gruff billionaire way, and surprisingly good at hiding the fact he sneaks out at night to fight crime. Clark just thinks Bruce is a little quirky. It's sweet that Bruce worries about Gotham so much, but why does he need so many emergency business trips at 2 a.m.? Clark, he's Batman. What? No way, Bruce is way too serious to run around dressed like a bat. Clark a Batman. The affair. Now comes the fun part. you know you're in for a treat when it says here comes the fun part. Clark occasionally runs into Batman while doing Superman things, and one fateful night, Batman decides to kiss him. Maybe it's in the heat of battle, maybe it's after a quiet moment of trust, but Batman kisses Superman. Clark is shook. He's so shooketh. He flies home to Bruce, conflicted, because now he's thinking about Batman in a way he absolutely shouldn't. Bruce, I need to tell you something. I think Batman has feelings for me. Really? Huh. What gave you that idea? Well, he kissed me, finding a smirk. And how do you feel about that? Totally sincere. I feel terrible. Feels like I'm cheating on you, but I need to let him down gently. I can't break his heart. Bruce, now smugly enjoying the entire situation, decides to play it out. As Batman, he continues his relationship with Superman, relishing Clark's oblivious attempts to juggle his feelings for both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Clark checking on Bruce through Batman. Clark's logic is hilariously convoluted. Starts going to Batman for updates on Bruce, fully believing that Batman is Bruce's confidant. Batman, have you seen Bruce lately? He's been so stressed and I'm worried about him. Oh, don't worry. I keep a close eye on him. He's in good hands. Gratefully. Thanks. I knew I could count on you. The best part? Every time Batman assures Clark that Bruce is fine, he's actually being honest. Batman is living his best life. Bruce is thriving. By day, he gets to be Clark's supportive, charming boyfriend, and at night, he gets to be Clark's brooding, mysterious lover. He's never been happier, or more amused. Alfred, of course, is the only one who knows the full story and thinks it's utterly ridiculous. If I may, sir, this elaborate charade seems unnecessarily complicated. He'll figure it out eventually. Alfred dryly. Will he? He still hasn't noticed you both wear the same cologne. The big reveal. Right? Where is the pink kryptonite? We need it. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's been inside him the whole time. The comedy reaches its peak during a dramatic confrontation. Maybe Lex Luthor's latest scheme forces Batman, Bruce, Clark, and Superman, aka just Clark, into the same space. Clark finally connects the dots, when Bruce dramatically rips off the cowl mid-crisis. Wait, you're Batman? Bruce deadpan. Yes, Clark. Pausing. So when you kissed me as Batman, smirking, yes, that was me. So I wasn't cheating on you this whole time? Correct. You were just being adorable. Superman is mortified, but Bruce, he was delighted. Not that they can be the ultimate couple without the secret identities getting in the way, so Bruce will bring it up every argument. You seriously thought that you were cheating on me with myself. I said I was sorry. The dynamic would never stop being hilarious, even after the reveal. And honestly, the Bat superpower couple would absolutely roll the superhero role, with Clark still occasionally kicking himself for being so adorably oblivious. 10 out of 10 would read again. Oh dear. Oh boy. I think that's going to be it for today, but that was so good. That was so good. I think we spent enough time reading cursed things. Even though it may be a bit cursed. But hey, I had a lot of fun. That's the important thing. So, I'm glad that you all had fun too. Like, I am honestly surprised, like, so many people came by to watch me read something as cursed as terrible yaoi fanfiction, but here we are. Yes, everyone's gonna be starting the year with a clean plate. Never in my life would I imagine reading smutty yaoi terrible fanfiction on stream. But again, here we are. We are here, we're queer, and we're doing our best. But as for who to raid, I think I know exactly who.
We have.
We are gonna raid Arukuya, who's debuting a new model from the looks of it. Ooh, it looks beautiful too. Oh, that looks so beautiful. So let's go raid
Just like this.
Arukuya. Did I do it? Or do I have to do it on... Heck, okay. I have to do it another way. I can't do it on that program. Alright. So, let's do this. Raid. Channel. Arukuya. And then we'll have our messages. Yeah. And thank you for joining me for the fun times. I appreciate it all the same. I will see you all tomorrow for the next reward tier of the subathon. We had said and ended it on 23 subs, but Frank ended up giving 2 subs at the very tail end. So we reached the next tier, which is draw every single Pokemon from memory. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. At least part 1, because I don't think I could get every Pokemon all in one day. So, see you all then. Bye. Remember to eat yummy food, eat plenty, eat all that food, drink plenty of water, and appreciate yourselves to the max. Love you all.